Everybody, happy equinox, happy spring equinox. Today is March 20th, 2017. It's the spring equinox, which means the time of the day where the light is up and the night where the light is not up, where it's dark, is exactly the same. And we're coming out of winter, so that means that we're going to be into the summer now, into the warm seasons now, into the coming out of the shell now. Especially for those of you who were born in spring. I was born in spring and the end of April, and every winter I forget, and every spring I remember that I'm really more alive in many ways during the summer. And that's okay. You know, the winter is great for introspection and processing and working through shadow, but when the spring comes back, I'm always like, oh, thank you. So today I came out into the forest. I made myself a flower crown. These are really easy to make. You just make them with wire and flowers. You can do an internet search. There are a million ways. I've got my rose quartzes around me in a circle. I'm sitting on a cozy, furry, royal blue blanket. Lily is around here somewhere doing her explorations. And what I would love to do is do a card reading for you guys to see what your springtime's going to be like. When I was asking how long to do this for, what I got from guidance was to do it for the time of the spring equinox, which is today, till the summer solstice. So that's the longest day of the year. So I've got here with me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think, card decks. So I'm just going to do a quick run through of everything for you guys so you get the whole download on exactly what this springtime is going to bring for us. And I use a bunch of different decks, and each card deck that I use has a different meaning when I use it. So I'm going to tell you guys what it is as we go. And as always, with everything I ever do or say in all of my work, public, private, and everything else, only take what feels right to you. If something doesn't jive with you, throw it away. Don't keep it. Okay, so to begin, I'm going to use my tarot deck, which will tell us the theme, like the story of this springtime into summer. And personally, stories get a lot of bad representation, just like the ego does, whereas it's not the ego that's bad. We came here to get ego, our sense of self, our sense of divine center. Just like that, stories are why we're here. Stories are beautiful. Stories themselves aren't bad. I love stories. But we just have to remember that they're not real. They're just stories. But they're always there. That's what human life is, a collection of stories. In the end, when you go through your life review and you see everything that happened and you feel it from all the perspective of everyone, it is just a collection of stories. So, stories are great. Just not letting them control you is where it's at with Ascension. Okay, so what is the story, the theme of our time from the spring to the summer? Oh my gosh, it's the Nine of Pentacles, one of my favorite cards in the whole deck, and someone who I love very much to embody and to ask more and more into my field. Look at her, isn't she a badass? I love her. She is the epitome of just amazing business and abundance. And let me read her to you. Let's see here. And she's holding a hawk, and hawks have been following me the past few days, so I know they're synchronicities for a lot of you guys too. This is, by the way, by the Tarot Illuminati deck. This is my favorite tarot deck. I got it in Salem, and there's a whole story behind it, which I've told in other videos. Anyways, and I love the people in it. They're so beautiful and powerful. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles, according to the book by Kim Huggins, illustrations by Eric Dunn. Here we go. This is the story. The fullness of independence in gain. There should be no surprise in seeing things come to fruition. Why wonder at the natural ripening of the fruit on the vine when that is all it knows how to do? When you have set in motion all the requirements for a particular goal and taken every step necessary to certain results, the gain of those results is assured. Thus, when you become the paragon of your path, filled with the joy and height of your talent or skill, when you stand out amongst the crowd for your efforts and abilities, do not hide your accomplishments away from the world, nor give them away out of guilt. Enjoy them. Revel in them. Let them be your roots grounding you, as well as the wind beneath your wings of further soaring ambition. So the themes and concepts are the self-made man or woman, self-employment and independent business, being entirely in the moment, enjoying the fruits of your labors, fullness, ripening, guaranteed success, gain in resources, confidence in your own work without the need to rely upon others. So That's great. Yay, love her. And it's a great synchronicity for me too, because a lot in my business is really shifting right now. And the next class, and I think maybe the final class, at least for a while, that I'm going to teach, that I'm going to record, is going to be how to create online classes, because I'm being guided to step away from it and focus on something else. And it's a lot easier for me to do if I leave the keys behind. So all of you guys out there who have the knowledge and will and inclination to make your own classes, I want to tell you how I do it so you can take that and jump from it and make it even greater in your own way. Anyway, so the Nine of Pentacles is all about success in business and being self-made and doing the work and having done the work so that it comes back and so that it creates a reality that you want to live in. Oh, sorry, I hope this isn't making the mic too crumbly. Okay, so we've got the theme. Yay. I mean, tarot can sometimes be a little gnarly. I'm always a little nervous when I'm pulling a tarot card because I'm like, are we going to get the Tower, or are we going to get, the Ten of Swords, or, and sometimes you do, and you just got a frickin' deal when you do. I mean, non-duality, right? Find the beauty in everything, find the deliciousness in all of it, I guess. Okay, so that said, now I'm going to use my Gods and Titans and Goddesses and Sirens deck. I've combined the two, this one and this one, which has a silver thing there, boom. Okay, and those are by Stacey DeMarco, illustrations by Jimmy Manton. It's one of my favorite decks. I mean, all these are my favorite decks, or also I wouldn't use them all the time, but anyways, I'll pull us a Divine Masculine card and a Divine Feminine card. So this represents the masculine and feminine energies around you and within you. So it's not only representing, so the Goddess card is going to represent, excuse me, the women in your life and also your divine feminine parts. And the masculine card is going to represent the men in your life, whether or not you're a woman or a man. It can be friends, lovers, family, whatever. And it will also represent your inner masculine, Okay, so let's start with the feminine, because that's also receiving, what we're going to receive from the universe. And for the feminine, we've got Riannon, self-trust. Okay, great, we're receiving self-trust. That's great. That makes sense with this, because if you're going to be a self-made man or woman, then it makes sense that what you'll be receiving is being able to trust in yourself and your own decisions. All right, let's see here. Riannon, self-trust. Do not doubt yourself. You can trust yourself. Developing self-trust is a necessary part of positive growth. You will be able to succeed in your goal if you believe in yourself. Sometimes you need to say no. The Welsh goddess Riannon was a graceful young woman who married Pwyll, a Domitian king. When Pwyll first saw her, she was riding a stunning white stallion, her hair loose and fair, her smile sweet. He fell deeply in love with her, and they wed. Soon a baby prince was born to the happy couple. Pwyll's mother, who had up until now had the undivided attention of her son, became jealous of their love and kidnapped the new baby. She put fake blood on Riannon's hands as she slept in order to frame her for the baby's disappearance. Man, that is messed up. And also remember, this is all within, so it's maybe the parts of yourself that would sabotage yourself. Be thinking about that rather than necessarily people in your world. Okay. When the household awoke and found the baby prince missing and blood on Riannon's hands, they immediately presumed she had done away with the child. Pwyll's mother accused Riannon of hurting the child, goading everyone else to think that way too. Even though Riannon did not remember committing such a crime, she doubted herself and spoke aloud that it must have happened. Pwyll was broken-hearted, yet could not sentence the woman he loved to death, and instead, Riannon's terrible punishment was to forevermore carry visitors to the castle on her back, just as a horse would. Thankfully, only a season went by until Riannon began to build the strength and self-trust necessary to question what had actually happened that night, coming to full recognition that she could never harm her child. Soon after, Riannon found the young prince, and so her mother-in-law was banished. Riannon was happily reunited with her king and became a wise and powerful queen, never again doubting her own self or her wisdom. Horses were made sacred to her and honored as a symbol of her hard work and transformation. Like Riannon, there may be times in our lives when we doubt ourselves and even perhaps hand our power over to others. Self-trust is such an important thing to develop. It builds our confidence and makes our decisions easier. Sometimes it is necessary to say no to someone, even though that person would like us to say yes. Self-trust, the ability to know what is best for us and what our capabilities are, helps us cope better in situations like being bullied or pressured into something we're not sure we want to do. And this also tells me, even if it doesn't make sense, Like, especially if your intuition is telling you to do something weird that you don't understand, trust it and see what happens. Maybe keep a journal of intuition and see. All right, next card. Okay, there was Riannon. Next card, Divine Masculine, is, oh, cool, Achilles. I pulled him earlier we had that solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, one of the eclipses, I don't know, but it started a cycle going all the way to August. He's who I pulled, so it makes sense that he's coming up again. Achilles, I love him. He's so powerful and such a great role model and fearless. And I mean, he's got his Achilles heel, but generally I like pulling him as the Divine Masculine. All right, here we go. Confidence. You are strong, worthy, and confident. Step forward in courage, knowing you can achieve exactly what you desire. Is there anything left to say in the history books about the wonder that is Achilles? What a magnificent warrior! While not strictly a god, he is a demigod, born of the nymph Thetis. Achilles' confidence, exploits, strength, and battle skills certainly are fit for a deity. So much did Achilles' mother love him that she could not bear to think her son would die as mortals do. To protect him, she plunged him into the river Styx, the Styx's water of immortality. Unfortunately, the one place the water did not touch was where she held his ankle when she dipped him in. This small handhold became Achilles' vulnerability, although he did not know it. Both beautiful in form and highly masculine in nature, Achilles became one of the most famous heroes of the Troy legend and of Homer's epic adventure, the Iliad. Achilles' defeat of the Trojan prince Hector is perhaps Achilles' most enduring legacy. Achilles is known as a fierce and undefeatable opponent in battle, and, therefore, the Greeks heralded and courted him in battle. Agamemnon of the Achaeans fought for Helen's return, but made the unfortunate mistake of honoring Achilles. Achilles refused to fight, giving hope to the Trojans and confidence to their hero, Hector. King Agamemnon was forced to appease Achilles, but not before Hector killed Achilles' beloved cousin, Patroclus, in battle. Sorry about these names if I'm mispronouncing them. Achilles exploded in rage, calling for the death of all Trojans, but seeking out Hector in particular. The Trojan prince bravely stood his ground to fight the great Achilles. Knowing that he would die, Hector asked that Achilles allow him full funerary rites. In response, with one mighty strike, Achilles killed Hector and dragged his body behind his chariot for days of revenge. That's kind of messed up. That part I don't really... I'd rather be honorable than crazy when I'm mad. Some stories say that Achilles was finally felled within the walls of Troy, wounded in the very spot his mother failed to bless in the Styx. Today, the most vulnerable part of the body or someone's character is often called an Achilles heel. Many stories and myths about Achilles survive, and Greek history states that many temples were dedicated to him. Some even remain today, such as the impressive temple on the island of Corfu. Achilles may stride into your life when you need a confidence boost. Achilles walked around confident in his skills, wrapped in invisible armor that strengthened and protected him. We all need this. Know that you are worthy and capable, and you have the strength and smarts to do what it is that you need to do. You may need to grow your self-esteem from the inside out rather than relying on others for your confidence. Know that you are enough, believe in yourself, and you too will have armor that keeps you safe. Okay, so, granted, alright, so what Achilles tells me is, yay, be confident. Same thing as Riannon. We've got self-trust, we've got confidence. Hang on, you guys, I just got to show you Lily on top of the car. Classic. Okay, anyways, yeah. So trusting in yourself, but also keeping your tender heart. That's one thing that Achilles tells me, is that, you know, not to be too shut down, not to be cold-hearted, because like that story about him and Hector, don't love that. Like that's not something I would like to follow me around, those kinds of stories. And one of the things that I really love to say and do when it comes time to decide what my actions are going to be is to say that I want to always speak in a way that I'll be proud to be quoted, and I always want to act in a way that I don't care if anybody sees me. It's my belief that if you don't want people to know what you're doing, you shouldn't do it. That makes things easier. Okay, so we've got, our story is self-made man or woman, having things come to fruition after hard work. We're receiving self-trust, and we're giving confidence. Makes perfect sense. Okay, so the next card I'm going to pull is by the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck by Ciro Marchetti. And I love this deck. This to me represents what's happening in our physical world. So it's like if tarot is asking chess players what their strategy is, Lenormand is looking at where the actual cards are the pieces are on the table. So it's what's actually going on in the physical world in a way that is helpful. for us to know, to navigate through, and to expect happily. All right. Yay. Oh, that's funny. I just showed you guys Lily on top of the card because guess what our card is? Lilies. I love this card. These show up everywhere in my reality too. Check for them in stained glasses, in pictures, stuff like that. I love it when stuff like this breaks through. It turns life into a divination board. Okay, here we go. Lilies. This represents your physical reality, what it's going to be like in your 3D world, okay? Calm, peace, and serenity is what I preach. Your parents and elders show up under my symbol. I bring wisdom and experience. I signify a long-term relationship or ancestry. Contentment and satisfaction is my angle. The lily, from a pagan view, today's the Equinox, which is a pagan holiday celebrated sometimes. I mean, it's also just a point in the year that it's nice to be aware, but it is also a pagan holiday. So the lily, from a pagan view, is symbolic of sexuality and passion, but also of purity. I love that combo. It can also symbolize motherhood, and also that can mean parenting ideas and projects. As a result, these calm-looking flowers with their glass-engraved background reflect a range of interpretations, that they are both growing and yet eternally captured in smooth glass, without any of their essence, shows the two sides of this card. We might suggest that they are a range of excitement, sexual, nurturing, or the absence of that excitement, and chastity. As a card, these lilies make the cards about them pure, simple, or excite their nature. So it's that beautiful intensity. I like to think of this as like divine ecstasy, because that can come in the form of sexual encounter, sure, or it can come in just the form of chastity and ecstasy through chastity and running that energy somewhere else. You know, no matter where you are in connection with others, your divine sacred center is always within you. And no matter what emotions other people inspire in you, it's still your emotion. So you don't need anyone or anything else to get these feelings of ecstasy and profound bliss. You can do it within, and you can really do it if you look at your world. I mean, just look at this beautiful world. Look at these amazing trees and that sun going down, and just the grass is behind me, and you can find bliss in many, many places. It doesn't have to be through another human or through romance. So I think that I'm just going to consider this being wisdom gained, beautiful reality. Stained glass is one of my personal signs of home. So I'm going to include that there too in my interpretation of the card. Okay, excuse me. Next we have the Magic of Flowers Oracle. I love this oracle deck, and this represents who we are in the world, who we are represented by in the world. Okay, this is by Tess Whitehurst. I love these cards. They're so gentle, they're so lovely, they're so accurate and involved, and the images, the illustrations are cool, but what really gets these cards powerfully into your psyche and helping you in your reality is the description. So as always, when you look at the card, take a look and see what kind of synchronicities it reminds you of, see what it reminds you of in your own life, what the colors remind you of, what the feel reminds you of, any little signs and signals that may be on the card. But also, the description of these is really good. So let's see what we got here to represent us in the world from now until the summer solstice. Ooh, I like this one. Narcissus. Narcissus gets a bad rap, but there are times and place for this. Focus on self-love. All right, upcoming is the description. Okay, let me look up the description for you guys here. Oh, here we go. Narcissus, self-love, sure enough. Okay, and this represents you in the world, who you are. Narcissus's magical specialties are connection to the other world, freedom from the past, present moment awareness, reclaiming personal power, spiritual refreshment, and romantic love. While we sometimes attempt to cultivate the soil of our personal growth through self-criticism, we will never experience the joy we desire or blossom forth in our fullest splendor if we do not bask regularly in the nourishing light of self-love. True. Like the sun rising over a beautiful landscape after a moonless night, or the earliest springtime flowers bravely showing their faces after the darkest hour of winter has passed, now is the time to let your awareness of your own beauty and majesty dawn. I'll say that again. Now is the time to let your awareness of your own beauty and majesty dawn. Soak it in, work it through. Okay. With regard to your question, which is, who are you in the world from now till the solstice? The answer has to do with loving yourself more. Tune in to your body, mind, and spirit, and take the time to ask yourself things like, is there something that I can do to make myself feel more comfortable, seen, heard, recognized, and loved? How can I love myself even more than I do now? How can I see myself in the most flattering and forgiving light possible? What will best support me in this situation? What do I truly desire? What thoughts, habits, and actions can I let go of in order to heal and nourish myself in the best possible ways? Though it might at first seem to have nothing to do with the subject of your question, even an action as seemingly basic as getting yourself more comfortable sleepwear, taking a warm bath, baking a batch of your favorite cookies, or diffusing essential oil of lavender in your space, when performed with the intention of self-love, can help shed light on the issue at hand and precipitate the energetic momentum you seek. The following ideas and messages may apply, so notice any that particularly stand out. Put yourself first in this situation. Once you are clear on what your needs and desires are, and once you have taken care of yourself appropriately, you can tend to the needs and desires of others as you feel guided and in a way that is alignment with your own self-care. Let go of harsh criticism, negative self-talk, or trying to force yourself to do things that don't feel good to you. Oh, boom, especially with the making your own, being a self-made man or woman card. We are defining a new paradigm of work right now in the world. Let your heart guide. Be sweet to yourself. Think and speak kindly to yourself, and take steps to nourish and comfort yourself as you would a dear and beloved friend. Take a moment to tune in to your mind, body, and spirit, and take at least one step in the physical world, such as lighting a bath or taking a scented candle, to support your needs while expressing love toward yourself. Now is the time to turn around habits of self-criticism and initiate the momentum of self-love, self-care, and self-approval. Take a moment to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, like the woman on the card. Send love through your palms to these energy centers and nourish yourself with the light, warmth, and wisdom of love. Finally, spend time with narcissus, plant narcissus in your yard, bring the blossoms into your home, or take the homeopathic flower essence remedy. Okay, so that's who we are in the world, having to deal with self-love. Let's just do that for a minute. Rub your hands together, one on your heart, one on your belly, and just let all the nourishing energy that you would give anyone else, your most beloved friend, your child, your lover, your parent, whatever it is, your pet, let it wash through you. It's powerful. We usually give so much to everyone else, so let's give just as much to ourselves too. See where that takes us. See what we can then do in the world to benefit it too. Okay, so we've got a couple more. All right. Let's do our work in the world card. This is from the Gospel of Aradia. This is my newest deck. It's by Stacey DeMarco, who also does the Goddesses and Sirens and Gods and Titans deck. But as I've been getting to know this deck, this is my second to newest deck. I do have a newer deck that I will share with you in a moment. While I've been getting to know this deck, every deck has a different, flavor, I guess. And so part of me getting to know my decks is learning their flavor. And so this one, as it's been shown to me as I've used it, is about your work in the world, your divine mission, and where the focus is for that, for good and bad, for all the ways you can look at it non-dualistically. Okay, let's see. We've got, the Queen. I love it. She's wearing a flower crown. What? I just realized that. Synchronicity. Dun, 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 dun. Yay. Boom. Okay. Moving on, when things get weird like that, I just kind of let it go and don't pay attention, just read the card. Okay, the Queen. And for men, this means king, so just shift it in your mind. Become the queen or king of your own life. Decisions are yours and yours alone. Discover your area of expertise and your unique wisdom. Your role in life may have recently become more challenging. A dominant woman is the cause of your misfortune or your delight, maybe both. With great power comes great responsibility. Here's a little poem that is part of the description. I bow to her of silver and gold, the queen of all spheres, the one who was foretold. It takes more than blood to be a queen, a crown of strength and wisdom, as well as ruby, diamond, and aquamarine. That's cute. Diana has many titles. She's one of the patron goddesses of this deck. One of her names in ancient Rome was Diva Triformis. In heaven she was the moon, upon earth Diana, and in Hades Proserpine or Persephone, but often Diana was the acknowledged queen of the moon, and in this mythos, Aradia, her daughter, became queen of the witches on earth. Whilst Aradia started her earthly journey as a maiden newly minted, she eventually grew into vast wisdom and became a queen not only to all witches, but also to a mortal king. There are many archetypal stories that tell of a maiden's change from girl to married woman. These are often described as allegoric journeys, or journeys into the underworld and back. The Persephone myth is a famous example of such a story. In this myth, young Persephone, daughter of Demeter, is taken by Hades into the other world to be his bride. Demeter seeks Persephone frantically, and when she can't find her, her grief turns the world cold and barren. Persephone, in the meantime, learns much about her husband's domain and develops tender feelings for him. Eventually, she strikes a bargain with Hades and is allowed to spend 6 months of every year with her mother in the world above. Ultimately, she realizes that her marriage has transformed her from a maiden to a queen of her own domain in her own right. In Aradia's time, when a young woman married, she had to give up her own family and move to the home of her husband's family. This could be quite frightening, especially if the new family lived some distance from her own family, or if the customs of her husband's family were quite different from those she had known previously. However, the young married woman eventually creates a family of her own and becomes queen of her own home, just as her mother and Persephone had to do. When we step out of childhood, again with the equinox, when we step out of childhood and become queen or king of our own lives, we must take on the responsibilities that accompany that new role: compassion, compromise, cooperation, justice, leadership, wise rule, so we will govern well and fairly. There are many stories about evil queens in mythos. We must learn from their contrary example and take care to use our own powers for the good of all. So there you go. We've had, you're going to be master of your domain. You're going to learn self-trust. You're going to exude confidence. You in the world are supposed to be loving yourself. Your world is going to be a place of loveliness, and you got to use your power in a way that benefits everybody. That's your work. Find the win-win-win. Lily agrees, don't you? She's great at finding the win-win-win, unless it's me trying to get her to do something she doesn't want to do. Okay, next card. Let's see, what do we have next? We have a couple card decks left. We have the Enchanted Map. So this is your Golden Key card. This is by Colette Baron Reed. This is one of my favorite decks too. It is one that I often use in my Goddess Glow mentorship program when we do our weekly divination. Okay, so this represents your golden key. It represents if you are in a rough patch, what to think about to assist yourself, and if everything's shining and beautiful and amazing, it's how to make it even better. So again, this is representing now from the equinox to the solstice in summer. It's June something. Oh, there's a little buggy on me. Hang on, little guy, let me put you on the grass. You're gonna not like your world if you get taken with me home by accident. Okay, this little beetle, he was pretty cute. Okay, so our golden key from now till the solstice is, yay! This is actually the same one I just pulled for my goddesses this weekend. Peaks of Joy. Yay, this is great news. That means even if stuff is hard, even if it's hard, you're still going to have moments of ecstasy in the middle of it. And who doesn't want moments of ecstasy, right? And so also this card to me, before I read you guys the description, this card says, when stuff is getting gnarly and difficult, make it funny, be goofy, and make yourself laugh. Okay, Peaks of Joy. Your life is filled with happiness, so share it with others. Joy is yours today. No matter what your inquiry, which is what is our golden key from now till the solstice, you will be happy with the results. You're coming closer to a sense of achievement, again with the rest of the cards, and you've worked hard for it. You're surrounded by true companions and events that are synchronistically arranged to bring you to the next level of your life. The world is singing a beautiful harmony. Life is exhilarating and hopeful. Let gratitude fill your heart and remember to share your happiness. Joy is contagious. Gratitude. Gratitude is the closest thing to real magic, like sparks flying magic that I know of. If you start a gratitude list, your shit will turn around immediately. So just so you know, even if it's in your head. Okay, so there's your golden key. All right, we're almost done. What do we have left? I think I'll just pull us one more. And this is my newest deck. And this is a sweet, sweet deck made by a soul sister of mine who lives in New York City, who is an amazing grid worker and total goddess and angelic and all the things that are epic and beautiful. Okay, this is Love Letters to Earth by Nicole Casanova. That's what it looks like. And what I think of these cards as is angelic guidance, because when I've spotted angels in my life, they've sometimes looked like orbs, spinning sacred geometric orbs. Sometimes they look like humanist angels with the wings and blah, da, da, da. But sometimes angelic frequencies look like orbs, and all these cards remind me of that kind of energy, you know? So let's see, what do the angels say to us from now till the summer solstice in our lives to make them more awesome in all the ways? Ooh, I've never pulled this card before. Check it out. Mystery. Ooh, da-da-da. That's really interesting. So just let that sink in. The way these cards are meant to be used is that you can put them over your food, you can hold them against your heart, but this is sacred geometry. So let it sink in, let it do stuff to you as you look at it. And I will find the description here. Mystery. This is angelic guidance, remember. The mystery is the womb, the black fire and dark light, the radiant warmth of unending and unformed potential. We are told we need control over the darkness, but the darkness is not the shadow. It is neutral. It is your teacher. It shows you where you get trapped in thinking you must always know what happens next and how. It restores you like a night of deep rest. Trust that you will have the answers you need at the exact right moment, but move forward with a clear, observant mind, a loving heart, and open eyes. So there you go. Trust. Trust in the mystery. Let yourself be renewed. Don't be afraid of the dark. Whew, what a trip. Okay, so here's our reading for now, the spring equinox, the summer solstice, which is end of June. We've got, what is the story? Self-made man or woman. You've done your work, now let it blossom. Trust yourself. Know that you're worthy. Know that you're deserving. And know that you are becoming the master of your path. Okay, what you're receiving, self-trust. You might have come under question before, but now's the time for you to really know that you do know what's best, more than anyone else when it comes to you and your situation. What you're giving is confidence, badassery, mastery of your path, but also make sure you keep a soft heart in what you give. What your physical world's going to be like, lilies, sacredness, ecstatic bliss, letting your world be beautiful, multifaceted, let it be alive, let it also be eternal, let it be mobile, let it be good foundational. Let all those seemingly disparate things combine together to create a beautiful life for you, because that's what's wanting to happen. All right, you in the world, self-love, take care of yourself. Know that you deserve just as much love and commitment and nurturing and encouragement as your most beloved people in life. And your work in the world, you are royal. Use your royalty and your power wisely. And finally, your golden key, peaks of joy, find the happiness, find the bliss. When it's there, let it suffuse you. When it's not there, let yourself laugh. All right, guys. Oh, and one last one, the mystery. The angels are bringing the mystery. Trust. Trust and allow yourself to go into the darkness to renew. Don't be afraid. It's all just you. I did not mean to make that rhyme, but I'm glad I did. Okay. Sending you guys lots of love from South Carolina. I love it here. The sun has just gone down on the equinox of spring, so now we're in longer days. Yeah, on this end, let's see, my Sacred Spa class is tomorrow, and then at the end of this month, I'm speaking at the Sedona Cosmic Awakening Conference, and I'll be speaking with my homie Alex, and I'll also be leading a workshop on connecting with fifth dimensional, beneficial, benevolent ETs, so that's going to be fun. In the end of June, we're planning a spa retreat in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Umstead. A really fun, delicious, lush and plush retreat. And other than that, I know there's probably more, but I'm forgetting. So I'm just going to let you guys go. Sending you lots of love, so much encouragement and happiness. And may we all come out of the darkness and into the light in the best of ways, in ways that just show the best of who we are. We've all done the work. Let's take up our passions and shift this world, because what we want is what we're here to create, and we deserve it, and you deserve it, and you're important. And thank you for being here. Much love. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon.